Good evening, everybody. Today is Thursday, January 31st, so that means it's Facebook Live time. 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, which is where I live. So we call that Stampin' Up time where I live. Hello, Teresa. How are you? And Charlene, how are you guys? So, hopefully those of you that are in like the Midwest are okay, because I've heard it's just been brutal. We were totally skipped by that horrid, cold front. I mean, it wasn't cold here at all. So not that we don't ever get cold, but luckily for us, we weren't. So I hope everybody is doing good. Everyone's fine. Everyone's not freezing to death. I find that sometimes if it's, if I'm cold or if I'm feeling a little whiny, if I just come down to my stamp room, it just makes me happy. Hello, another Teresa and Kathy. Hi, guys. How are you? So, yeah. So, hopefully everyone's good. It's been bitter cold. Oh, I've heard that. Yikes. And you guys aren't super used to that cold weather, I don't think, in Kentucky, are you? It was -4 in Pennsylvania. Ugh. Yuck. Yeah, today it was like 45. Sorry. So, it's a heat wave. Yeah. Hello, Sandy. Hello, everyone. So, of course, as you guys know, please share the video. You can just do that right now. Right below the video is a little button that should say share. Share it to your own timeline or any groups that allow that type of thing. Some groups do not, and you can get in trouble if you share it on a group that you're not supposed to. So, keep that in mind. I just got my hair done. Oh, I can see that it's a little wonky. Whatever. I told you guys last week that I had to use my chocolate chip ink to cover up my gray stripe, and my appointment was supposed to be Tuesday morning, so I'm super excited about it because I had a board meeting I'm the president of the swim team here in town, and I had a board meeting Tuesday night, and I thought, perfect, I'll get my hair fixed Tuesday morning, I'll have my board meeting, life is good. Well, unfortunately, Monday night, my hairdresser messaged me and said that her mother was in the hospital having a heart attack and she had to cancel my appointment. And I was just like, oh my gosh, you poor thing. I mean, she's like 6 months pregnant and I'm sure the stress is terrible. And I felt horrible for her. And, you know, good vibes to her mom, and everything's fine. Mom is fine. She's fine. Everything's fine. But after I got over my initial shock and, you know, feeling bad for her and her mom and how horrible that is, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, my hair, you know, because of course, you know, our hair is, I'm a Leo, so my mane is important to me. So I was a little freaked out, but I thought, you know, chocolate chip to the rescue. That's my go-to thing. As you guys know, I've shown it on my Facebook Lives before. So, but I actually had to get a little more crazy with the chocolate chip. I used an actual ink spot, you know, Stampin' Up. We have ink spots. You can fill them up with any color you want. Mine, of course, has chocolate chip. One of them does. So I literally took that ink spot and I was rubbing it on my head to try to cover up the gray because it was so awful. But thankfully, my hairdresser is a rock star. She messaged me yesterday and said, hey, can you come in tomorrow morning at 10, which is today? And I said, yes, I can. That's the beauty of working from home. So I went in and got it done. I think it looks pretty good. She doesn't always style it the exact same way that I do, but she did a great job, and I love you, Katie, so thank you. So anyways, that's my little story about my hair and my chocolate chip ink, and I'm not kidding you guys. If you suffer from what my son calls old lady skunk stripe, a sponge dauber and an ink pad will be your best friend, because I can literally go about 4.5 weeks before my gray starts to show. And when it gets to 5 weeks, because I like to go every 6 weeks to get my hair done. Part of it's because, you know, it's expensive. So, you know, I don't want to just spend $100 every month if I can go every 6 weeks. Save myself a little cash because then I could buy more stamps. So I'm not even kidding when I tell you that it works. Now, of course, you have to find what works for your hair color. I mean, if you have super dark hair, maybe early espresso is your friend. Maybe if you have more of a light brown, dark blonde, maybe crumb cake is your friend. I don't know. I used to use crumb cake. But then my hairdresser started having my hair go a little bit darker, so now I'm a chocolate chip girl. Yes, chocolate chip is retired, but I stocked up when they retired it. So, hello, Andrea, and hello, Suze. So, yeah, so my hair is good. The chocolate chip is awesome. Don't they say gray hair adds character? Surely they probably do, and I don't have anything against people that have gray hair. If you have gray hair and you rock it, good for you. I just don't personally feel like a gray-haired person. So, there you go. Yeah, Teresa, hair tips and stamping tips. You got it. I just am one of those people that I just don't foresee myself ever being gray. I don't know. I just don't see it. So, you know, as long as I can keep doing it, and as long as my chocolate chip ink keeps working, I'm there. So anyways, enough about my hair. I think I've rambled on for, oh my gosh, what, 5 minutes about hair color? Jeez. Okay, so I did want to give away the prizes from last week. So those of you that shared the video, thank you for that. I appreciate that very much. And so I do draw for the projects that I made last week, and these are the projects I made last week. I made this adorable little treat box that holds one of those. Well, do I have one here? Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. I have my other one. So this is what I made. One of the things I made last week. It's a little treat holder for those little boxes of Brock's Conversation hearts. And so I have an empty sleeve, this part of this. I made this card to match a gift card holder that I had made earlier in the week. So we have this. I made this with the lovely Lattice Celebration set. You can see, I hope, all the glitter of that Wink Estella because it's gorgeous. And then I made this using the butterfly dies and a tiny bit of our foil sheets. Speaking of foil sheets, Stampin' Up! Has told us that they are going to probably run out of the foil sheets. So if you haven't placed an order for the foil sheets and you want the foil sheets, and of course you do because they're amazing, you need to get to the store and get your order placed and choose the foil sheets as your free item before they're gone. Okay, so these are the 4 items that I made last week. And so the winner of those is Julie Halen. I don't know. I probably butchered it. So Julie, I will need you to message me your address so that I can get these cards in the mail for you. Facebook message me, please, with your address, Julie Halen or Halen. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I'm guessing Halen because that's just what I think it is. Okay, so congrats to Julie. Okay, moving on. Then, those of you that left comments, so I'm also giving away items for people that leave comments, so please leave comments. Let's see, is anybody saying anything? Hello, Kathleen. Hello, Karen. Oh, Karen's in Australia. Holy cow. Hello, Kathy. Okay, and so the person that I drew out of the drawing, her name is Kathy Fate. So, Kathy, if you're watching, message me, Facebook message me your address, please, so I can get this out to you. This is a partial DSP share out of our large catalog, the annual catalog, so Kathy Fate. And then I also offered the watercolor pencils to as a giveaway for everybody who ordered from me during the past week. And Shirley Garnett, and Shirley, I do have your address, so I don't need you to message me since you just ordered. I have your address. So those 3 people, 2 of you need to message me. Shirley, you do not. It goes back there. And then this week's free stuff for sharing my video, I am going to put you in a drawing for the Birthday Wishes for You stamp set. Oh, my sticky note's in the way. This is the stamp set, so share the video, and then I'll do a drawing for the stamp set. Orders that are placed with me between now and next Wednesday night will get another annual catalog DSP share. So this has the Petal Promenade, Tranquil Tide, Animal Expedition, Tranquil Tide, is that even right? I think it's Tranquil Textures. I don't know what I'm doing. Animal Expedition, Best Route, Garden Impressions, and Tropical Escape. So this is for ordering for the next week. And then commenting, everyone who leaves a comment will be put in a drawing for this, what is it called? Basket Weave. This is one of our dynamic 3D folders. And so I will put you in a drawing for that. Okay, so those are the 3 items that will be given away next week when I'm live. And can I just give myself a shout out for this because it's so cute. Yeah, and I actually bought a sleeve of these boxes of candies at our local Walmart for $1 for 5 of them. I've eaten 4. That's the last one. So there you go. Okay, moving on. What else do I have on my little list here? Ooh, tomorrow is a big day if you're a demonstrator. And if you're not a demonstrator and you want to be, join my team. It's so easy. You can just go to my blog at barbstamps.com and then click on the Join My Team link at the top. Join my team. And then tomorrow is the demonstrator release of the brand new celebration items that are coming. So you guys as customers will be able to add them to your orders for, like, you'll order your $50, you'll get a free item. Some of these new items, I don't exactly know what they are. I've seen them briefly, but I haven't actually touched them and felt them. But tomorrow we get to pre-order them, so I'm super excited about that. So look for that in a couple of weeks for me to be demoing that for you guys live. Okay, I do have a new online class coming February the 8th, And I'm going to flip the camera around and kind of show you what the products are in that bundle that I'm going to be spotlighting in that class, along with my freebie for February. So I think I'm done. Sometimes I just randomly think of stories to tell you guys, you know, after I get done with this first little face-to-face, blah, blah, blah. And if I have some funny stories, I'll share them with you when they come to me. So, okay, let's flip the camera. All right, hopefully that wasn't too traumatic for anyone. I know some people don't like that motion, and I apologize for that. Okay, so yes, I realize today is January, but tomorrow's February 1st, and a lot of people that aren't watching me live right now will be watching the replay tomorrow or watch it on YouTube. And so I want to have my February host code up there. You can use, if you're ordering today, you can use either one. It doesn't make any difference. You still go in the drawings. If you use the January host code, you'll get the epoxy hearts. If you use the February host code, you'll get these little gems. Now this is a double package. I used up all my reds, bought a new package anyways. So these are the little Happiness Blooms enamel dots. And so these are yours with a $75 order placed in my store that uses this host code in the month of February. Also in the month of February, anybody who orders any amount from me at all will get an emailed file full of, I think it's 8 different projects using this bundle of products here. So I'll email that to you for free. And it uses these products. This is what you can get for free if you place a $75 order. $50 will get you a celebration item. $75 will get you the celebration item plus the dots. Okay. Ooh, also while I'm thinking about it, coming up next Saturday, if you guys are local to me, we are going to be making this project here. Now, the gal, whoever comes, is going to bring their own frame because we can adjust this piece here to fit in any frame. So anybody can do it. And then we're going to make 12 of these little guys. These are just little, they have magnets on them. It's a frame to stand on one's desk or a table or whatever, wherever you might want to hang it. You could actually even hang it on the wall. I mean, these frames have ways to hang them on the wall as well. And then we're going to also make these little extra goodies here. And I think I'm working on a way to, this is a half of one of our acetate boxes. And I'm going to figure out a way to glue this to the back of the frame so that you can keep all of your little interchangeable O's right there with the frame at all times. You don't have to like think, oh, well, where did I put all those things? So these are the little goodies that we're going to make. So we're making, this is for January. That little goodie. This is going to be our February item. Foil sheets. I'm telling you, you guys, if you haven't gotten the foil sheets, you need to get them. March. This is some of our glimmer paper that retired at the end of the holiday catalog, and I happen to have some left. So there's March. Here's April. A little bit of paper piecing there with the gal with the umbrella. This is May. Love me some Highland Heather, Gorgeous Grape, and Granny Apple Green. This is June. So we've got some butterflies there for June. July, little patriotic action there for the country. August is this cute little chair, beach chair. September, some sunflowers, super cute. October, of course, October, Halloween, cat, gotta love it. November, some leaves. And December is this with the wreath. Now I'm toying with the option of having this as a class to go, okay? So seriously, if anybody's interested in this as a class to go, email me, barb@barbstamps.com in the next few days. And if I have enough interest, because this is going to take me a long time to put these together for a class to go. So I need to see if there's enough interest to see if it's worth my time to actually do it. So let me know if you are interested in that. Email me again, barb@barbstamps.com. Let me know if you're interested in the home to go class, okay? All right, so we'll put this on the side here. My next class is my next online class, which I said is going to come out, February 8th, and it's going to use the Wonderful Romance bundle of goodies. Or excuse me, Floral Romance. Oops. Okay, so the Floral Romance is just a gorgeous, gorgeous set, and look at the intricate die that comes in that. Isn't that amazing? I can hardly wait. I just got this suite of stuff, so I haven't actually used it. I'm going to be working on it this weekend and next week so that I can have my class go live. So I'm super excited. So we have the Wonderful Romance stamp set, the Wonderful Floral Framelits, like I said, which has that super awesome lattice edgelet in it. Very cool. We've got the Floral Romance seals. We have the lovely petal pink white ribbon. Here's the dies, some of them. Aren't they fun? Yes, they are. The other one in there must be on the back. Yeah, there's actually quite a few dies in this set. So I haven't even made my die cheat sheet for you that I normally do. So, but I will get that done. And then of course the stamps, the lace folder. Oh, this isn't even the lace folder. This is the tin tile. I grabbed the wrong one. But this is what it makes. This is the pattern that the lace folder makes. And more foil sheets. Isn't that awesome? Yes, it is. All right. And here's a few swaps that I've gotten from some gals that actually use... Oh, I should have taken them out of the plastic so that there's no glare. Using this bundle of products. So the online class will be free for you if you purchase my bundle of products, which I will have listed on my blog here shortly. And then you can get the class for free, or you can just order the class. It's probably going to be one of those $20 ones. And then you will have 8 cards, bonus card. I'm not sure, maybe 9. But here's some cards that use it. So look at this. This is just such an amazing die cut. I just love it. And here's that lace folder back there, trimmed off the edge. And then this paper actually has some vellum in it, which is just gorgeous. Now look at that. It's the same paper. Funny. Yeah, I'm not that funny. And then these little guys are also in that bundle. So that's going to be coming out the end of next week. So stay tuned for that. Okay, I think I've done all of the blah, blah, blah that I'm going to do, and I'm going to get my first project out here. All right, so the first project is going to use one of the stamp sets from Celebration, and it's called Hello Cupcake. Super cute, and that's what we're going to use. Now it involves making a box for a Russell Stover's Caramel Heart, because I have a friend whose birthday is next week, and she never wants me to get her anything, so I usually try to make her a little something. And I know she likes these kind of things: caramel hearts, caramel Santas, caramel Easter eggs, caramel pumpkins, whatever. Russell Stover's makes them for every holiday, and I know she likes them. So I decided to make a box to put this in. So I'm going to kind of show you how I came up with the dimensions for the box and show you how to make the box, okay? So this will be helpful, hopefully, if you guys have gifts that you want to give to somebody and you want to make a box. Hopefully my tips about designing a box will help you. So the first thing I did was grabbed a ruler and I went, okay, well, what size does my box need to be? I figured, you know, about 3 inches. This is a little less than 3 inches, but I thought 3 would be good. Now there's a lot of excess packaging on these things, so I thought I don't need it to be super long. I just need it to be long enough to hold the heart. So I thought about 3.5 inches would be the right length. So 3 by 3.5. And then I measured the width of the chocolate. It's about 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so I would take a piece of scratch paper. Here's a piece of scratch paper right here. And I say to myself, okay, my box needs to be 3 by 3.5 by 3/4 of an inch wide. All right, so you have a top and a bottom to the box. So that's going to be 3 plus 3. I have 2 sides. They each need to be 3/4 of an inch. So plus 3/4 plus 3/4. So that adds up to 6, 7.5. But then I also like to add an extra 3/4 of an inch to have a tab to tuck. Okay, so then we're going to add another 3/4 of an inch. So now we've got 8.25. All right, so then it needs to be 3.5 inches tall. Fine, but then it also has to have top and bottom flaps. So we've got 3.5 plus 3/4 plus 3/4 because we have a top and a bottom. And so that equals 5. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. I'll leave that there for a second. So I had 3, 3, 3/4, 3/4, an extra 3/4 for the tab to tuck in, 8.25, 3.5 plus 3/4, 3/4 equals 5. So my piece of paper that I'm going to cut is a 5 by 8 and a 1/4 inch piece of cardstock. Okay, and here it is, soft seafoam. Okay, so now I'm going to score it. So let me bring in my trimmer. And so as I was making my dimensions up, I added 3/4 of an inch. Okay. Okay, great. So we're going to start at 3/4 of an inch and make a score line. Okay. All right. So that's going to be like a tab. Then we have to go over 3 inches for the width of the candy. So I'm going to add 3 inches. So that's going to be 3 3/4 of an inch. Okay. Then we have the center part where it's folded over and we have the candy in there. That's another 3/4 of an inch. So that makes us go to 4 1/2. Then we're going to add our next 3 inches, which is going to take us out to 7 1/2. And that's what we have so far. 3/4, 3 3/4, 4 1/2, 7 1/2. And now this side, it's just going to be 3/4 on both edges. And so I'm going to use the 3/4 on this side of the trimmer just because I think that's easier. So we're going to do a 3/4 there. We're going to rotate it around and we're going to do a 3/4 here. And just as a side note, when I'm actually doing this, I first started off by making it on a piece of scrap copy paper. And then I see if that works. And then if it does, then I go ahead and use my good cardstock because I don't want to be wasting a bunch of cardstock trying to figure this stuff out. So that's my whole thought process there. So now on the end here, this little corner tab, I'm not going to need. It doesn't matter which end, they're both 3/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to snip that little corner tab right off. And when I snip off these tabs, I usually go like, I angle it in just slightly because I find that it's a little bit easier to fold if they're slightly at an angle. And so the rest of these, I'm just going to snip in with a pair of scissors on each score line. And again, I'm going at an angle, so I'm cutting out like little tiny triangles. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. There's another little triangle. Another little, oh, that one didn't really make a triangle. That made kind of a, I'm not even sure what that was. Some kind of a mess. Who knows? Okay, and then that. And then I'm just going to slightly angle the ends here of this. And there it is. Get all my bits out of the way. So now all I have to do is fold it up. So I'm folding on all the score lines here. I'm not actually burnishing them yet. I just want to make sure that it's all going to fold nicely. And when I'm folding them, I'm making sure the edges are even. Okay. And then here is a box. And you can literally do this with anything. With whatever type of box you want to make. Whatever thing you need to house in a box. That's a little trick about how to get that done. So hopefully that is helpful to some of you. So if you are doing one of these candy hearts or caramel hearts, or I'm sure it would be the same, the chocolate caramel Santas, I believe, are the same size as the heart, and the pumpkin's the same size, the egg is the same size, so this would work for any of those. All right, so now all we have to do is fold it all together. So we can just take that little heart, drop it right inside the box, and then we'll just glue it all together. Super easy. So I hope that was helpful. I've got a brand new liquid glue here, so I need to be careful because I don't want to, you know, it's already coming out. Oh my, this could be bad. Yep, just got some all over the place. I should have known better than to work with a brand new glue. Brand new glue is never anyone's friend. Okay. I'll just glue those tabs down together. Hold them down for just a second. Go to the other end. I got to get this, rub this glue off my fingers now. Hold on. I should have known. Brand new glue, when you open it up, of course it's going to squeeze out all over. Why wouldn't it? All right, so we'll get some glue on this little guy here. There we go. Fold that in. Get the tabs. Okay, still have glue on my hand. That is super annoying. And then finally, the top tab here. And so obviously the person that gets this is going to destroy my box when they get it, which is totally fine. I'm okay with that. And you know what? I did this last week. You guys are just going to laugh your heads off when I tell you what I did. I didn't stamp it first. No. I did this last week when I made my Valentine. I didn't stamp my cardstock. I don't know what my problem is, for heaven's sakes. Well, we're going to try to stamp it while it's made. You never can tell. If nothing else, stamping with Barb is certainly an education in what not to do. So, obviously, don't do this. So I'm going to try to do some random stamping here with this cute little flower that's in the stamp set. And we're going to see if it's going to work out for us or not. Well, so far, it's not horrible. The stamping isn't terrible. It's working okay. Yeah. And I want it to be random looking, so that's why I'm kind of going off the edge of the box on some of these images that I'm putting down. Yeah. Stamping with Barb. It's all about what not to do. What not to do. Okay. Ooh, this is so sketchy, as my kids would say. Ugh. And it's so funny because when I was designing this earlier, you know, I thought I need to make this little project. And then I was trying to figure out how am I going to explain it to you guys and everything. And the thought actually crossed my mind. Make sure you stamp it first. So the next time I do this, and I think I said this last week and I didn't follow my own advice, I need to make a big, big sign that says, Barb, seriously, stamp before you assemble. Good Lord. Yeah, I'm getting kind of lucky here, you guys. That does not always happen for me, especially when I'm live. Oops. Now these edges are kind of tricky. They're not working so good. So we may stick to the edges here. All right. Again, we're just going to try a few on the edges. Ugh. Man, oh man, oh man. Well, if nothing else, I'm definitely not perfect. That is for sure. Oh, okay, we got it. Okay, that's not terrible. Honestly, I don't think she's even going to notice that I screwed it up. So, yeah. Okay. Next, we can put our little box to the side because we're done with that. Move my little bit of trash here. I'm going to bring in some Whisper White cardstock because that's what I'm going to do my stamping on with the cupcake. So I've got the frosting portion here. I have the little cake wrapper. I have a little heart, whoops, with my lovely lipstick ink spot that about came apart and got ink everywhere. And those two colors. Okay. All right, so I'm done with that. So I'm going to put that aside so I don't mess it up. Oh yes, I do. So I'm going to bring back in my soft sea foam along with my little cupcake wrapper. All right. And this is photopolymer, so I am going to bring in a little cheat sheet here. And this is a mess. I need to change it. But I didn't, so there you go. Okay, so we're going to stamp that here at the bottom. There we go. Got some Flirty Flamingo, and I took these colors from our Forever Lovely, or is it All My Love? Maybe it's All My Love. The All My Love Designer Series paper. This is where I got, excuse me, my color combination. So you don't even have to know color combinations. Just look at our Designer Series paper and take colors from that because they've already been put together, so we know they're good. Okay. There we have the old Flirty Flamingo cake or frosting. And then this little tiny heart is going to go right here, top of the frosting. Now I'm using Lovely lipstick in another project, so I didn't want to lose it. So I thought, well, I'll just throw my spot. I think I got this in a paper pumpkin kit a couple months ago. So that's why I have that. So paper pumpkin kits are also very handy for giving you extra ink spots. Okay. So next, I'm just going to crop this out with a 2 1/4 inch circle punch. And I'm actually going to chop off some of the bottom of the cake wrapper, but I don't care. It's all good. Okay. Then, what am I doing here? Oh, then I have my oops, gotta grab them, sorry. my well-written framelit, and I think I showed you guys these last week. These are so awesome. There's 24 dies in the set. You get 14 words and then 10 little oddballs. And then here's my, every time I look at this, it just makes me so happy. Like I said last week, I could just frame this piece of art in my stamp room and I would be the happiest person ever. So anyway, I'm using the word hooray for my little cupcake here. And I went ahead and cropped it out of, where is it? Okay, I literally just had my package of parts. Does anyone see it? Oh, I see it on the floor. That's handy. So I ran the hooray die through the Big Shot with my multi-purpose adhesive sheets and the hooray die. And so here it is. Whoops, get that off there. And I'm just going to peel it out of my die. So you can see it's got that white paper backing on it that I'm going to peel off when I go ahead to attach this. It's going to go up there so I don't lose it. Okay. So, but first of all, I need to poke out some of these excess little bits. So I'm going to just use my little piercing tool here just to poke those out. And then we will have our hooray. Okay. Now I should just be able to, I think the Y was already lifting off, so I should be able to just, there we go. Peel the paper backing off that. So this thing is totally full of adhesive. And we're just going to lay this right across. Oops, maybe not right there, maybe a little farther over because I want it to kind of mostly be, oh, can you guys even see this? Sometimes I go to working and then I don't even show you what I'm doing. Okay, so there, super easy. That's now attached to my little tag here. So that's going to go on the box, but I also wanted to wrap it with some ribbon. So I have some of our polka dot ribbon here and we're just going to wrap that around the box. And we're going to tie it in a knot, I think. Let's get up there. Having some issues. I feel like I'm doing this backwards or something. I don't even know. Well, I might be able to get a bow out of this. So we'll see. Maybe. Oh gosh, is that even going to work? Does it have a tail? Oh, it does have a tail. Okay. All right, we'll pull that nice and taut so it stays together. And most of the bow making is the manipulation after you get it done. So just as a little side note there. Okay, so then this little guy we're going to attach to our bow with one of these super cute pins out of the Pins and Tags kit because they are adorable. So we have this super adorable little pin. This is one of the, I think it's Melon Mambo, but I don't think it makes any difference. I think it works just fine. All right, so I've got a 16th inch hole punch. Oh, whoops, right like this. So we're just going to punch a hole right there in the top. We're going to put that pin through. And then we can put it under the ribbon or through the ribbon, however it works out. And then there it is. So there's my cute little box for my friend and her yummy caramel. And her birthday better get here quick or I cannot guarantee that this caramel is going to make it to next week. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so there's project number 1. So look at it, love it, appreciate it. And again, hopefully this helped you guys determine how to make boxes for whatever you may need to make a box for. So put that aside and we'll clean up the mess. And then we will get on to our next project. Okay, put that stuff to the side here. All right. Our next project is going to use the Needlepoint Nook stamp set and die set. So here is the stamp set. Here's the die set. So I did make a cheat sheet for you guys in this one because I know it helps me to see what dies are in the sets when I look at that. So I hope it helps you guys too. So this set has 12 dies, and one of them creates this really fun detailed, it looks like stitching lines. So like, it looks like you could actually like go through it and like embroider it, which you may be able to do that. I don't know. I'm not really a needlepoint person, but you might be able to. So this is the embroidery kind of design here, along with these two little edge pieces. They also have the design that gets impressed into the paper from the Big Shot. We've got this fun label here that fits this sentiment in the set perfectly. We've got this fun thing. Now the die actually puts the dots, okay, on your paper. Then we have our, I think it's the Pretty Label Punch. I think that's what this is called. This is in the annual catalog, so you can actually use this to then crop out. So I stamped my image, did the dots through the Big Shot, and then I punched it out with the Pretty Label Punch. We also have these images here, and they actually look like needlework. I mean, they are so detailed. This has got to be one of our distinctive, is it? Well, it should be, because it's amazing. You can totally see what looks like threads in these images, so that's totally amazing. They also have coordinating dies. We have these three little doohickeys here. I just call them doohickeys, I don't know. Oh, hello, Christine. Long time no see, girlfriend. And then it has this long piece here that die cuts this little image here. So that's what we're going to use on this next project. Hopefully you like it. Okay, put these back. So we are going to use some Smoky Slate as a card base, Smoky Slate as a card layer, and then some Blushing Bride, and then I have some scraps and some little bitty die cuts here. And this was a card that my gals got to make at my card buffet last weekend. But before I go ahead and show you that, I want to show you some of my swap cards that I got that use either the stamp set, the dies, or both. Okay, and I keep forgetting to take them out of the sleeves because I know the glare can be super annoying, so I apologize for that, you guys. Okay, put all those away. So here's one that actually uses some of the designer series paper right here. And look at that. There we have the word friend stamped, and then that cool die that just does the dots is around that. We have a cute little butterfly stamp. And then, like I said, you can totally see the stitching, the embroidery, or the, what am I trying to say? The thread detail in these things. It's just amazing. I just can't get over it. Another one where we have that fun little tag, and then our sentiment on top, some more of the designer series paper. Let's see, this one, the designer series paper, and then the little butterfly, and this sentiment is not in that set. And then this one where it just uses the stamps, which I think is super pretty, and I love this color combination. So, and then we've got some of our daffodil ribbon, and then we've got this one with the embossing folder, the tufted folder in the back, and then that cool design with the flower and the leaf background. So anyway, getting back to the card I'm going to make for you today. So we've got our card base. So I'm going to go ahead and fold that in half. And I need my bone folder, which is over here somewhere. There we go. And then we have our layer of Smoky Slate. I want to make sure it actually fits on there. Yeah, it does. And then the Blushing Bride layer. What does this measure? This is 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. Hello, Margot. Hello, Brenda from Frozen, Minnesota. Yeah, I've heard. It's terrible. So then I already did run through this through the Big Shot, okay? So this piece here, I am going to, in the stamp set, there's this cute little like edge design that looks embroidered, or it's got the holes to make the embroidery. I don't know what you even say. I'm not really a thread person. I don't sew. I can mend stuff, but I don't sew. I don't make things with fabric or thread. So I'm probably using the completely wrong words, and so I apologize to any of you that are seamstresses or work with embroidery or knit. My grandmother was an amazing embroidery artist. We have some, oh my gosh, we have some super amazing works of hers here in the house. So, okay, so I'm going to ink this up in the Smoky Slate. And I'm just going to stamp it right here on the edge of the cardstock. Oh, that's a mess up. We're going to flip it over. Did you see what I did? Yeah, no. So we're going to try that again. We're not going to press so hard. Maybe we're going to pay attention to what we're doing instead of talking so much. Better. We're going to turn it around and we're going to do it on this edge too. Stop talking, focus. And yeah. Okay, so it's just a real subtle detail, but when the card's all put together, it does look pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to set this aside. Now I have my sentiment that actually comes in the set. It says get well soon. And I need a little strip of white. And I have a bunch of these little strips. When I cut my white cardstock, I usually cut it to make layers out of it. So it's usually, 4 by 5 1/4. And so when you cut an entire sheet, you end up with these 1/2-inch pieces, which are perfect sizes for sentiments such as this get well soon one here. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my basic gray for this because I want it to be a little bit darker. I want it to show up really nicely. And let's see, how about like that? That actually looks pretty good. We're going to go with it. Okay, so I have my sentiment piece now. What else do I need to do? Oh, I've got this little trio of flowers, and I'm going to stamp them also on a scrap of white. Here's a scrap of white right here. And we're going to use Blushing Bride for this. So my colors are gray and Blushing Bride, which I think go together really well. So I don't know. Sometimes Facebook Lives, the clarity of the picture is not so great. But can you guys see the detail where it actually looks like the threads are on this stamped image to make it look like it's embroidered? It's just amazing to me how detailed this is. So after you do that, then you would take it over to your Big Shot machine. You would put the die on top of the flowers and you would run it through. Now, I sometimes put washi tape over my dies just to make sure that they don't slide around. And that's what I did in this case. All right, so we don't need this ugly piece of paper bothering anyone anymore. Okay, so I think we're kind of ready for assembly, except that I did do this already also because I had to use my Big Shot, and my Big Shot's in a different location than my camera. So I stamped the sentiment on a piece of white in the basic gray, and then I did that die where it just puts the dots around it. What do you even call that? I know it has to have a name. Ugh. Drives me crazy when I can't think of names and stuff. So then I'm just going to slide this into my punch, and we're just going to line up the dots because Barb can't think of what that would really be called. And we're just going to punch that out. So then this can actually go on the inside of the card. So we're going to say, get well soon, and people like you make the world a better place. Because, yes, oh, you can see I screwed up on the back. I did the light gray, and then I thought, no, I need the dark because I need it to show up. So then we're just going to add this to the inside. And how is that for some nice detail on the inside of the card? Love it. All right, so then this piece here, well, this is my screw up, so we're going to put the glue on the back. And then we're going to just add this to the front of the card, lining it up. Okay, there we go. Get that all pressed into place. And then this piece here is actually going to be put on with dimensionals. So I'm going to grab some dimensionals here. And we will stick, we'll go with 5. Whoops, I got 6. I don't want 6. 6 is not going to work. Okay. All right, now before I put this on, I want to make sure when I'm getting all my stuff together here, what I'm actually doing. So this piece here, I'm just going to flag the end. So I'm going to make it a little shorter. And when I flag ends of cardstock, I just snip straight in with my scissors through the middle. And then I come in from the point on both sides and meet that middle point there so that it is even. I used to try going in and in from like each direction. In fact, I'll show you how well I can do this. If you go in from each side, oh boy, isn't that nice? No, it's not. So then I would go, oh, I got to fix that. So I would try it again. Go in again. Oh, that actually doesn't look too bad, but normally it would never work for me and I would be forever cutting into it and then it's ruined. You know what I'm saying? So forget it. So yeah. Hello, Sangeeta, welcome. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. If I'm not, please let me know and let me know how you actually pronounce that. So, because I hate when I butcher people's names. I feel terrible. All right, so this I need to snip off the end because it's too long. We don't need it quite that long. And that's going to go across here like so. My little flowers are going to kind of go ish, like this, somewhat, whoops, something like that, not actually covering up the word. And then I did die cut a couple of those other little doohickeys out of the stamp set, and we're going to add these to the card as well after I kind of get it all figured out here. So I think I'm going to put this on with a couple of dimensionals, so that way I can put some stuff underneath this. Oh, come off. Oops. Little bugger, you got stuck on there. Okay, move the flowers. So this is going to go about like this. Hopefully that's straight. I don't think it was. Is that straight? Good Lord. Sometimes my eyeballs don't work. So then I'm going to add a tiny bit of glue to the top of this little flower. And I'm just going to tuck it underneath this. Okay. So press that down, pick that up. And then these little guys are going to go on the top here. So I'll just add, whoops, a tiny bit of glue. You guys can't see what I'm doing. And we'll set that one about like that. This little guy, little glue there. He can go over here. Maybe like so. All right. And then do you guys see this cool leaf? Well, check this out. It mimics the dots, because I can't think of the right word, that the die creates. So you can actually, maybe I'll pull it up a little closer. So you can actually put this die cut leaf right over the dots if you want. And I kind of do. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a tiny bit of glue to the stem here, maybe. And maybe along the bottom leaves. And I'm just going to tuck that underneath my flower. Oh, I think I hear somebody stomping into the house. Hopefully they don't make a bunch of noise or come down here. Oh my gosh, you guys. A couple weeks ago when I was Facebook Live, my husband came in. He came down here. He walked up right behind me, I guess, just down the hall. I didn't even know. I didn't even know he was there until after the whole thing was over and somebody messaged me and said, "Did you know your husband came into the room?" And I thought, oh my gosh, how scary is that? What if some crazy person just randomly came into my house? Anyway, that didn't happen, so it's all good. And maybe that one like that. Okay, so then I need to find something that's in my bucket here. These are our metallic pearls, and I'm going to grab the silver ones, which actually look gray to me, so they could be silver or gray. So there we go. Thank you so much for sharing, Sandra. I appreciate that. And I need to find my Take Your Pick tool, which is where? Right here. Okay, so I need a couple of these little gems to go right in the center of these flowers. That one, this one here. Okay, so we're done with that. I'm going to put these away because if I don't, I'm probably going to lose them. I don't know if that happens to anybody else when you're crafting. Do you lose stuff? Because it happens to me all the time. All right. So then we're going to take these dimensional backings off of this piece here. We're going to layer that onto the front. And I'm actually going to layer this kind of crooked just because I think the crooked is kind of cool. So we're just going to kind of go something like that. I'm going to close this ink pad because I'm sure you guys have seen me before. And you know that I can't always have an open ink pad around because if I do, then it's a problem. So we're going to put that away before I make a mess. Okay, so the last thing I want to do is I've got some of this silver and white baker's twine, and I actually have a piece that I didn't use for something else. So I'm just going to tie a bow, and I've tied bows before, so let's just see if I can do it here. I usually make 2 rabbit ears. Everybody does this differently. I make 2 rabbit ears. Start over. 2 rabbit ears. And then I cross the rabbit ears over each other and bring the one ear through the hole and create a bow like so. Whoops, don't you be twisting on me. And I find that this baker's twine likes to twist. So if I hold the knot, I find sometimes that I can get it to stop doing that. Sometimes. sometimes not. All right, we're going to pull it tight. Okay, that's going to annoy me. I got to make this right. So we're going to pull it out again and make it large. And then we're going to try it again. Oh, that's better. It's not exactly what I want, but it's going to have to do. All right, so we'll snip off the ends. I'm going to grab a glue dot. Now, what's cool about this ribbon is the silver thread that's in it, or this twine, excuse me, it's not ribbon. The silver thread that runs through this is really shiny. And so it actually really catches the light from your on the project and just looks really pretty. Okay, so there it is. Who wouldn't want to get sick just so they could get this card from me, right? Yeah. There we go. So here is our card. Hope you guys like that. This is one of the ones that will be given away next week, so be sure to share the video. And Mary Ellen, yes, I will check and let you know if I can see that. All right, so let's put this aside. And I'm going to clean up my mess. And then I will get out the goodies for my last project. I know, how sad. I'm going to be done. But I try not to go much over an hour because I feel like that's a big commitment. And I appreciate the fact that you guys actually watch me for an hour. I think that's amazing. And I thank you so much for that. Okay. So our last project uses this stamp set here called Life is Grand, which is fun. And it is one of our Cling mount stamp sets. Now, in case you guys did not know, with this new catalog, the Occasions catalog, Stampin' Up! Has gotten rid of wood stamps with the exception of background stamps. And so what we've gone to is Cling stamps, which is rubber mounted on cling foam, and then our photopolymer stamps. Those are the ones you can completely see through. So our Cling stamps have a brand new sticker, and the brand new sticker is super sticky. And so it actually does stick to your blocks really, really well. And sometimes it can be too sticky. So I'm just going to show you how to mount a stamp. We're actually using this one here today. So I'm not going to show you how to mount that one, obviously. But I'm going to stick that on a block here. You can see how that sticks good. So how you want to mount these is you want to, let's see, is that one already mounted too? No, this one will work. So this one says Make-A-Wish. So here is the Make-A-Wish label. So what you want to do is you want to peel the backing papers off to expose the sticker. Okay. Now the sticker itself is cut the same as the rubber stamp. So all you have to do is just use your eyeballs, and I just hold it in my hand and I just come straight down. I'm going to kind of move this and you might see my hair, and I just kind of come straight down, making sure that my stamp is touching the sticker in the same way that the stamp is cut and the sticker is cut. And then you just peel that back, and then you have your label on there. Super simple. It's not something you want to be really quick with. You want to take your time, because once your foam touches that exposed sticker, if it's not in the right spot, you won't be able to get it off. So just keep in mind, go slow, be careful, take your time, and you shouldn't have any issues. So that's just a way to mount our new Cling stamps. Okay, so we're using the Hello Dear Friend, which we already have mounted. We are also using a pattern out of the All My Love Designer Series paper. One side is hearts, one side is these fun flowers. We're also using Lovely Lipstick cardstock. We've got a little scrap of Lovely Lipstick, Pineapple Punch, and Call Me Clover. If I can get them out of my package here. Here they come out. And then I have a rectangle already cut out of Whisper White. And that rectangle is, I believe, number 4. Yes. So with my rectangle framelits, these are new to the Occasions catalog, I have taken them and I have numbered and lettered them. So you can tell this set here is a set of 8. They all nest together. They're all basically the same shape. These are longer and skinnier. So I've numbered these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are A, B, C, D. And this little guy is all by himself, so he doesn't even need to be marked. So that's when I say number 5 rectangle, that's what I mean. 5th from the middle. Okay, so this is a super, super easy card. You could make a ton of these in a very short amount of time. And it's a good way to use up some of those little pieces of designer series paper that you have left. And so we're just going to add the designer series paper to the front of the card. A little bit of snail here. When I'm just putting paper to paper and there's nothing in the way, nothing's going to be pulled apart, I find using snail is fine. I'm doing boxes, liquid glue is my fave. Tiny, tiny little pieces like those die cuts that I just had to add definitely need the liquid glue. Okay, so here is my piece that I'm going to stamp. So I've got my image ready, and I've got my lovely lipstick ink pad here. And this is a little bit of a larger stamp, so I just leave it on my block face up, and this is how I ink it. It's just easier for me. I find I get less mess around the stamp if I do it like this, because I'm just tapping lightly, than if I take the stamp and mash it in there, because it's kind of heavy and it's awkward, and sometimes it just doesn't work out so good. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this kind of over to the right side. Oh, you know what? I got to do a tester here, because I don't know if this is going to be straight, and if it's not straight, I'm going to cry. Okay, I probably won't cry, but you know what I'm saying. So I'm going to line this up and see if it's, yep, it's pretty straight. I just use the edge of a scrap piece of paper there. Okay. Oh, whoops, that would be upside down. Hee hee. No bueno. That's something else my kids always say. Okay. There is our hello dear friend. And this is one of those, I think it's a distinctive stamp set. I want to say yes. Oh my gosh, it doesn't say, but it just looks like it is, because if you look at the image here, you've got some really light and then they're really dark. So I find that that's probably one of our distinctives. Oh, hello, Denise. Thanks for joining us. And yes, that's the beauty of Facebook Live. You can always watch later. Okay. Then I also have my Pineapple Punch skinny ribbon here. I think is it 1/8 inch? Yep, 1/8 inch Pineapple Punch ribbon. And I'm going to bring this from the inside of the card over to the front of the card, and I'm going to tape it down. So I'm just going to kind of cover the seam here. Little piece of Scotch tape, and I gotta make sure it's not twisted, because I've made cards before where the ribbon was twisted on the inside, and then you're like, oh really? That's nice. It's very difficult to fix. You can fix it, because I have shown it in the past about how to fix the mistakes, because like I said before, if you want to know how to fix screw-ups, watch Barb, because Barb screws up a lot of stuff. Okay, so we're just covering that seam. And what type of clipboard? You know, Marilyn, it is a Stampin' Up! Block. We used to sell these grid sheets that you could stick on your blocks, and I kind of really got used to them. And when Stampin' Up! Quit selling them, I kept using them, because I can't stamp without them. So let's just say that. So it is a Stampin' Up! Block. It is a Stampin' Up! Sticker that goes on the block. We just don't sell them anymore. So I know that's a bummer. If those of you did like them, they are pretty cool. Okay, it's like a window cling or something like that. Okay, so then this is going to go here. But before we put that on, well, I guess we could put it on. It doesn't really make any difference. We're going to use some dimensionals to pop it up, because I love using dimensionals. I think 4 is going to be good. We'll kind of put them towards the middle. Whoops, good Lord, how many do I think I need? Okay. Peel the backing off. There we go, and there we go. All right. And so we're going to put it kind of over to the left, not totally equally straddling the ribbon, just kind of. Okay, I think that's going to work. All right, so then I'm going to use my little bitty, what the heck is this even called? Bitty bunch? Bitty, you ever do that? You forget what something's called, so now I'm going to have to look so I can show you, because they're adorable. Back to the Happiness Bloom Suite. Remember, free item with purchase in February, free card file emailed to you in February. Okay, so here it is, Bitty Blooms punch pack. And this is part of the suite here. These two things can actually be purchased as a bundle, and they are adorable. So there are 4 little punches in the set. There's 3 little flowers. You have like a sunflower. Oh, I don't know. Can you even, there, that's better. A little sunflower. I'm not even sure what that would be. I don't know flowers either. Flowers and sewing, not for me. and then this little guy here. So we have 3 little flowers, and then we have the punch that does the leaf and the flower middles. Okay, so we are going to get ourselves one of these flowers out of Lovely Lipstick cardstock, each one. So I want 3 of them. Okay, and then the last one here. There we go. So we've got 3 flowers. Then I need 3 little flower middles with the pineapple punch. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then I need 3 little leaves out of the Call Me Clover. So I'm actually going to get flower middles too, but that's okay. Okay, so the flower middles I don't need. The leaves I do need. All right, so I'm going to put some of this stuff away just because if I don't, it's going to make a mess and then I'm going to be sad. Okay, so I think, I didn't actually think about this before I went live, but I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to use my silicone mat and some liquid glue and a take your pick tool. So where is my, oh, here's my take your pick tool. And I think I'm going to squirt a little bit of glue like right here on my mat. And then I think what I'm going to do, or should we use mini dimensionals on the flowers? Oh, decisions. I think I'm going to try this. I think I'm just going to take my leaf, I'm going to dip it in the glue. So I'm going to get a little tiny bit of glue on there. And then I'm going to stick it on the back of the flower. Okay. So I'm going to do that with each leaf and each flower. Oops, get that in the middle. A little bit of glue there. A little more. And then we'll stick it on the back of the flower. About like that. Last one. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. And we'll stick it on the back of this flower. Keep your eyes peeled for where that little flower middle went. Okay. And then we can turn these over. Well, actually, yeah, we will. That's fine. And then I'm just going to use my take your pick tool to hold it in place. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the back. And then we're just going to stick them. Now we're going to start in the middle. Right here on my card. A little bit in the middle. And I'm going to try to do this so that the leaves don't all go the same direction. I just feel like it'll look a little bit, whoops, I need the front. I think it'll look a little bit better if they're not all exactly the same. And how about like that? Oh man, that's cute. Then I'm just going to take my glue and put a tiny dot. Oops, that didn't even stick. It will. A little dot of glue on the front of the flower. And then we'll put the flower middles on. So we'll use our take your pick tool again. Hopefully my hair is not in the way of anybody. Sometimes when I lean over to see what I'm doing, my hair gets in the line of the camera, and sorry about that. There! That worked out pretty good. Now this will just end up drying on my silicone mat, and I'll just be able to rub it off with my finger and throw it in the trash. Silicone mats are amazing tools. Okay, and so there it is. That is our last card. So we have this and this that we did with the needle and thread. And then we have this adorable little box that I created, and I showed you guys how to create it. So if you just tuned in and you want to know how to make boxes for things, I did share my little secrets and my tips about how I measure an item. And let me just grab what I put in there. For those of you that showed up late, I wanted to make a box for one of these Russell Stover caramel hearts. Now they also make caramel Santas and caramel pumpkins and caramel eggs, and they're all about the same size. And I love eating them, and I love giving them away because they're just so delicious. They have that runny caramel in them. Oh my gosh, this probably is not going to last the night. So anyways, I wanted to make a box for one of those. So I did Kathy, it might be your internet. I hope it's not mine. Anyway, so I showed you how to create a box to fit something that you want to have it fit, how to measure it and all that good stuff. So that's what you guys missed if you tuned in late, but you can always watch the replay, which will be on my channel right here as soon as I'm done, because I will post it there. It will also go to YouTube in a couple of days. So if you guys enjoyed it, if you're on YouTube, thumbs up it, because I love that. On YouTube, you can subscribe to my channel down here. On Facebook, like my page so that you can be notified when I go live again. You can place your orders here at shoppingwithbarb.com. And I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.